Hello, my name is Stephanie Hameter, and this is my response to Children's Literature Briefly, chapters 1 through 6. There were so many good points in chapters 1 through 6, but I narrowed it down to three that made me to really stop and reflect on myself as a teacher and as a librarian. It started in chapter 1 with reading incentives. If you want children to value pizza, then the reward should be a pizza party. If we want children to value books, then we should give them books as their reward for reading. It's been many years since our campus has had an incentive program of any kind. And I will say that pizza has always been on the list. I kind of cringed as I read that. But just before we were given this assignment, I submitted a grant proposal for a book vending machine. Our sister campus has one, and they primarily used it for birthdays. Each student would receive a token to use in the vending machine on their birthday, which the kids were really super excited about. But as I'm reading this chapter, I'm thinking this should be our prize for our incentive. My problem is I cannot fund that prize for every student every to have reading challenges every month. So I wanted to ask or pose a question to you guys as my fellow students and instructors. If every student that completed a reading challenge were to put their name into a drawing, would that be as motivating if they had a weekly or monthly drawing for a coin to put in the vending machine? And I just don't know how to fund every child having one, every child getting one. So I don't know if this would be a good idea or not, but I am very open to suggestions and advice on how to tie our vending machine to the reading that students are doing. My second aha moment came in quality versus personal taste in chapter 2. This was pretty hard for me because I had to accept some hard truths about myself I wasn't necessarily quite ready to admit. Attempting to convince an enthusiastic reader that a book is not worthy of devotion is foolish and often counterproductive. And I began to think about my reaction to when kids check out Wimpy Kid, when they check out Dogman, or when they check out Cat Kid, those types of books. I don't think that I had a very positive reaction to it because I was always thinking as the teacher who needed to get my students ready for the test that shall not be named. And I didn't feel like these books had the depth and complexity that they needed to be able to be successful. And in reality, I should have had a different reaction because as I read further, a teacher needs to accept the honest feelings of the reader. And I was doing a terrible job of that. What I needed to do was understand that a positive response can be a result of either the author's skill or the reader's individual taste. And to read something is better than to read nothing. And I was probably killing the love of reading for some of those students. And I greatly reflect, I just greatly regret that. And so going forward, I hope that as a librarian, I'm going to have very, very different reactions when kids check out those books. And I hope that I'm excited for them and that I want to show my excitement for them. Finally, my third point comes in chapter 6. We need diverse books. When books are mirrors, children see a reflection of themselves, their families, and their experiences. When diversity is absent from the literature we share with children, those who are left out infer that they are undervalued in our society. I never want any student to feel undervalued ever on our campus. And when I really stop to think about this topic, our population is 75% Hispanic. And yet, our library probably has 5 to 10 books that are written by Hispanic authors or have Hispanic characters. We have shelves and shelves of books about African Americans, but hardly anything about the actual population of our school. And so, as a librarian moving forward, I feel like I really need to make this a very high priority when my collection development. Um, where is the mirror for them? I really need to dive deep into those kinds of purchases in the future. Overall, chapters 1 through 6 were packed with so much good information. I can't wait to see what other aha moments I'll have this semester. Thanks for listening.